Good morning, Gate City. Good morning. Good morning. All right, we got a little bit of a light crowd this morning. That's okay. That's okay. I think people might be a little Rotaried out after last couple of weeks, but that's fine. We got all the important people here, right? All right. Darlene, you're here, right?
Yep, I'm
okay.
Morning. Education, I'm going to share a poem for inspiration this morning. So please bow your heads and listen as I read this poem. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are we not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. Thank you and amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For all the things we think, say, and do.
It is the truth. It is fair to all concerned. Will build goodwill and better friendships. Will be beneficial to all concerned.
All right, thank you, Darlene. Steve, who's here?
Other than our guest speakers, it's just us today.
It's just us. That's all right. That's all right. All right, so before we get moving on too long, Wayne, come on up, man. Wayne Abraham. Come down to the Wayne, I talked to the district governor and told him what happened, and he said we don't have to re-induct you. So that's good. That's good. But you have earned the blue badge. And just as a reminder to everybody, this is not an easy thing to get after you're inducted in the club and resign and are re-inducted. You have lots of things lots of requirements in order to get this. You have to come to the board meeting. You've got to get engaged on a committee and help with a project and visit a club, another club, all sorts of things. So Wayne's done all that, and I think I can say for everybody, he has fully engaged in the club. He's helped out with the fundraiser marketing, and he's been very visible. So welcome again. There you go. All right. Is Dale around? I didn't see Dale this morning. Maybe Dale Meltzer. Did she pass on birthdays and anniversaries to anybody? All right, show of hands. Anybody get any older? We got a birthday here. Is your birthday today?
No.
Oh, too bad.
Tomorrow.
Birthday tomorrow. Okay, so Wayne's birthday's tomorrow. Anybody else? Tom's is Saturday. All right. Well, good. Any anniversaries? Cool. What's your anniversary?
We have our 35th wedding anniversary on Monday.
Wow. Very good. Yes, sir.
I have my 30th year anniversary on Tuesday.
All right. Definitely hitting wedding season. All right, good deal. So no other birthdays and anniversaries? We'll go ahead.
I feel like I'm getting younger. Does that count? Don't worry, Buster. You don't look it yet.
All right. Well, the feud was easy for me to decide this morning. It's all about Chip Vale today. It's the Vale family. The Vale family. And of course, I'm never gonna forget this guy, the Abraham family. The Abraham family. All right, Dale family. Dale family, you gonna play or pass?
We'll pass.
All right, the Dale family is gonna pass. Abraham family. Assume you're gonna play, right? All right. So here you go. Top 5 answers are on the board. Besides food, name something parents use to distract a child who is upset. Besides food, name something parents use to distract a child who is upset. Top 5 answers are on the board. All right, going with pacifier.
Oh,
All right, that's a child, not a baby. A child, not a baby. All right. All right, you gonna go with TV?
Yes.
The two, ding, 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 number 2 answer. All right, Buster, you got it.
What, restate the question again besides.
Besides food, name something parents use to distract a child who is upset.
Take them to the place.
You take him to the playground. All right, let's go for an easy one. You just give him a toy. Ding, 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 ding. Number 1 answer. Number 1 answer. All right, 3 answers left on the board. You got 2 strikes. You give him another toy. All right, let's get over here, Bell family. But you got 3 answers left on the board. You guys can work together on this one. What do you got?
Electronics.
You give him yet another toy. It's the Abraham family. Abraham family wins it. All right.
Let's hear them.
All right. So yeah, y'all, again, you guys put way too much thought into it. So you,
Dynamite.
you gotta tickle them a little bit. You need to make them smile. You give them hugs and kisses, or you sing them a song. Actually, y'all do. It's only 5 of you guys who have to.
Give you something to cry about?
All right, simmer down, simmer down. Chip, I got everybody excited for you. What happened this weekend?
Oh my goodness. I'm still recovering from the family feud. That's all good. Oh my goodness. This weekend, what an event. Oh my goodness, what an outing. And you know what? It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and if I had to do it over again, I would. You know, if you've ever thought about being president, or you're on a...
You can do it again.
But not consecutively. But if you've ever thought about being on a committee, or maybe one day being a president and thought, I'd never do that, I'd have to do the fundraiser, do not think like that. There are so many good people in this club that will stand behind you and beside you to bring it off. Don't ever think like that. It's an easy thing to do with the right people. And you know, we had so many good sponsors. Did y'all get to see we had some great sponsors here. And I just asked Judy to bring these again. You guys did a fabulous job of selling sponsorships. That will really help. And I wanted to highlight this. I wish Ralph were here. I wish Kelly were here. We had some fabulous prizes. Tony, thank you. Thank you for Quentin's Weaver. You guys provided the overnight at the O'Henry and overnight at Proximity, and a great Southern breakfast. You contacted Needed Energy to provide massages. Great prize packages. And Kelly, thank you very much, and to Grand Over Resort. Ralph sourced the oyster roast. He's going to do the oyster roast himself. I don't know if you all know that. He does that himself. And then he also sourced the 4 tickets for the Wyndham. And doesn't this look great? You like this? Did y'all see that when you came in by the ticket table? Judy, thank you. That was from Compliments Pet Printing. They contributed this. They contributed the sponsor boards. And so many other people need to be thanked. And I'm running the risk here, but someone that I could email at 24/7 at any time, and I fired off probably 100 different emails with questions on how do we market this and different things. Someone that has the legacy information from all the prior fundraisers. David Graves, thank you. I know this is really David, thank you, and Tony for kicking off the sourcing of the prizes. That was fabulous. Ken Kink, I wish he were here to thank. He went to the ballpark with me and was kind of my number 2 there as we negotiated the terms of the book and all the different decisions that had to be made with the ballpark. And James Edwards, I regret that he's not here too, because talk about burning midnight oil. I know he worked his spreadsheet long and late into the night many times to keep up with your numbers, and for everybody that sold a sponsorship. And how about everybody that was who gave up their personal time at the concert to serve at either the check-in table? Would you raise your hand if you were at the check-in table or the sponsors table? I know there were a lot of people that did that. We could not have done this without you guys. And I know there's some of you that served a double or triple shift there, and they're not here. Some of them are not here today. Steve Scott did, I know that. And I'm not sure who else did, but I just wanted to thank you all. Okay, how about results? Do y'all know who won? Do you want to know who won?
Yes.
Let's talk about that just a second, real quick. Ross Geller, he should be here today. He won the Wyndham tickets. That was the first name pulled. The second name pulled, Dr. Byron Barber, and Walt sold that ticket. The Grandover, that was a lady named Karen Gardner. Don't know who sold that one. Proximity, I don't know who won the Proximity. I think it's the guy with the beard that doesn't have anything to do in the daytime.
I'm going over there right now.
Buster! And then the Oyster Roast was won by a name, a lady named Debbie Conley, and I think she was an internet, bought her tickets off the internet. So we had very good response to the internet, and your all sales really made this thing a success. I will report back with numbers. We had good numbers, but there's still some invoices and a couple receivables to collect and get booked. And James, I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag without having James here, because he did so much work on that. But thank you all, because this was not my deal. This was a club. This is the biggest club project of the entire year, and it can't be done by one person. We had all the oars in the water, and I'm so appreciative of you guys for that. It was a great event.
All right, let's give Chip a big round of applause. All right, Walt, you're on the clock. You have an announcement next week, right?
Ready to go, man. Got it narrowed down to 2 things already.
The car washes, let's rethink the car wash.
It's not that. It's either going to be a gun show or a body painting festival.
Throw some alcohol in there.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, I think Judy, where'd Judy run off to? You have an announcement.
Speaking of body painting.
Crazy.
The fundraiser, not fundraiser, the ladies' night out, June 5th, 6:30 to 8:30 at the painting studio over on Pembroke. I've sent everybody an email about that. If you have a lady you'd like to invite, do you think that might be a good member of the club? We also have invitations. If anyone wants to grab some with an envelope, please take them. And we're probably looking at maybe 15 people max. We run a small event. We're asking ladies to go online and register and pay the $35. And then we, the other ladies in the club, are paying for all the wine and all the food and everything else that's going to be there. So it's a great recruitment tool for our club.
All right, very good. Thank you. Okay, so I know the information on that's gone out. Just a reminder, the next board meeting, it is not second Tuesday of the month. This coming month, it is going to be the first Tuesday. That's June 6th, and that is going to be in my office. Changing of the guard guy, we know that's 622. You want to talk about that for 2 seconds?
So last year I sent out the sign up, and I got 1 million emails about what's on the menu. So this year I sent out the menu, and I got 1 million emails about what's the date. So I sent them both out simultaneously and still managed to get a few emails in between. So you have the menu, the date, it's at Starman, it's June 22nd, cocktail hour from 6 to 7, 7 to 9 or whenever These guys stop talking, we'll finish. Looks like a great menu. I don't know if anybody knows Brad, but he does a really good job, so it should be a great event. So sign up before the 15th.
Yeah, and guys, we're looking at that 7 to 7:30 is my personal goal on the timeline. But now we'll get you in and out of
as
there.
fast as possible.
That's right. All right, so you guys hopefully also got the information on district installation. So far, I think Mike Conrad and his wife are the only ones that have signed up for that. This is not a black tie event. Incoming District Governor Lloyd has decided that he wants to keep this kind of low key, a family event. So it's going to be at a baseball game. It's not a high dollar event. There's 2 ticket levels. There's an $8 ticket and a $20 ticket. You can pick which one you want. One includes food and the other one doesn't. So it'd be nice to have some Gate City Rotarians out there. I think that Ralph's trying to get out there as well, but should be a good afternoon.
Where is it?
It's going to be at the ballpark in Winston-Salem. All right. So you should have something in the Google Groups email on it, and I'll send it out again. And we may even bring the sign-up sheet in and circulate it around one of our meetings here coming up. All right. I think there's only one thing left to do. Happy dollars!
All right,
Let's do it.
You should be given the first one.
All right, let's see. The first dollar is for Chip and the awesome job that he did.
All right,
Hard
Chip.
work. And the second dollar is for my boys going back to NC State for summer school. Sarah, how's it going?
Our annual blood drive is upon us at work, so donate blood June the 8th, 11:30 to 3. Call the office to sign up, or I've got these little flyers I'm going to put on each table. You can register online. This is the blood drive where Paul last year by attorney got identified with leukemia. So you give blood and you learn if you're okay. So we hope to see some of you there.
Well, I just want to thank Guy Rabondo for allowing me to do his flooring. It was, we did his dental office. It was a big project. It took 4 weekends. I appreciate your patience on that. But anyway, thank you so much for Shop and Trotter Brothers.
Oh, man.
Did a good job.
What did you put down?
LVT and carpet.
Lovely vinyl tile and carpet.
All right.
Prices have gone up at the dental office.
So I have 2 happy dollars. My first happy dollar is for my good friend Judy. What a good member she's been. She stepped right in. She's been at that desk a lot of mornings printing for the fundraiser and then getting a wine event. So I really appreciate her being a new member and being my friend. My second happy dollar is, did you see the news in High Point yesterday?
Oh, yes.
Cobain has agreed to personally head up the efforts to raise $38 million by September 15th to build a children's museum, a conference center, and a park to go along with the baseball stadium that's going to be built there. So if anybody can make it happen, that man can make it happen. So good things are happening in High Point. So that's my second happy dollar.
I got 2 happy dollars here. First one is, some of you know my son Henry, when he was small, he used to come help us at Camp Carefree, and Dr. Sears and Dr. Reynolds took care of his mouth, and and he is scheduled to graduate in December from East Carolina in construction management, and he needed something to do this summer because he came home for one more time for the summer, and Mr. Quinn here put him to work. So a shout out to Dan and his company for.
You may want to, at the end of the summer, you may want to reevaluate.
The second happy dollar is my daughter. We go up tomorrow for her graduation from her master's degree program. 6 years in school, and she actually got 3 job offers and accepted one. And she starts her new career this summer after her graduation tomorrow night. And She's off the payroll.
Wait a minute, does she have her own cell phone saying that? That's the key.
Yeah, I remember when little Henry Phoenix went into Miss Lisa's preschool room.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Buster's wife was his preschool kid.
I got two here. We took Wilder off the forestry camp, and a lot of guys have probably been to camps like this, but he's staying in a cabin with 3 other people that he doesn't know, and it's a 20 by 20 box with a roof and a ceiling fan. And to close the windows, you lift up the sheet of plywood and push in 2 nails, and that holds the sheet. That closes the window. If you want the window back open, you pull the nails out, and the plywood drops to the floor. So it's a little bleak. So we're sitting there at the family picnic, which was inside the cafeteria, and we're eating our barbecue chicken and sitting there. And this fellow sits down beside me who's been roaming all around. He has on the NC State shirt. He sits down, and I introduced myself. I'm Chip Person. He said, "Well, my name's Sam Cook." I said, "Doggone, could you help me sing Working on the Chain?" Like that. And he says, "No, not that Sam Cook." So anyway,
And who the hell are you?
yeah. I'm Wilder's dad. This guy right here runs the entire North Carolina State Forestry Program, all over I've forgotten how many 100,000 acres he runs. So I introduced him to Wilder. So then the sheriff's deputy sits down. She's a nice looking lady. She's got a...
She already knew Wilder.
That's right. She sat right by him. I said, "I want to introduce you." And so when we got through talking and chit-chatting just a little bit, my second dollar was, I said, "So whatever happened about that 1941 axe murder that happened in that cabin right over there? Did they ever catch that guy? Is he still roaming around?" And you should have seen the eyes.
It takes a dad to bring back the camp story. Well, Grandpappy told me, he said, "I bought my friend an elephant for his room." He said, "Thanks," and I said, "Don't mention it." Wait, did you just retire? I'm still working.
Bobby, do you have anything better than that?
You gotta get that out of your mouth. Buster, who gave you that joke? You need to give it back. I said Grandpappy took a job over at Walmart, and he'd been there about 6 months, and he said he went to his boss, said he wanted a raise, and he said, "Well, why should I give you a raise?" He says, "I work harder than everybody else." I said, "Why is it you think you work harder?" He said, "Well, when you don't know what you're doing, it's hard."
All right. Well, it's time for our speaker, and I think Dr. Tom, you're going to introduce him for us. Hey.
Well, good morning. Well, I'm going to give you a quick update before Vanessa and Jamon talk. Some of y'all are newer to Gate City Rotary and so forth. Greensboro Youth for Christ has had an active chapter here since 1948, which is pretty amazing. We're actually working in 19 schools in Guilford County. I'm giving you some updates because we have been growing thanks to wonderful staff members and work. We are reaching over 1,000 kids a week in school today, and I say we, I'm just involved with the board, but have about 140 credentialed volunteers we work with, and anybody that works nowadays, volunteers have to be credentialed each year and the whole bit for security reasons. 40 plus churches and business and civic organizations that we are partnering with have had tremendous growth, and they're going to talk about what these two individuals have been doing to do that. And as a further bit of information, we currently have ministry sites at Guilford Middle, Cornerstone Academy, Southwest Middle, Southwest High, Ragsdale High, Southeast High, Weaver Academy, Weaver High School, Smith Academy, Hope Academy, Jackson Middle, Jamestown Middle, Lincoln Academy, Aycock Middle, Greensboro Academy, Northern Middle, Northeast Middle, Southeast Middle, and Southern Middle. And these are things that we're doing. And our budget this particular year ending is about $725,000, which we have to raise every penny of it, so it is no small matter. I'm very proud of what they do. We've been involved, Sarah and I have been on the board 19 years. First went to my first Youth for Christ banquet about 35 years ago. And I've been amazed and impressed. Vanessa and Jamon are going to be presenting today. They are going to be talking about there's different parts of Youth for Christ with campus life and city life. It's kind of a general breakout of it. And they've been doing a phenomenal job. Vanessa has grew up in YFC and city life as a youngster and has had an incredibly long career at different levels and stepped out and 5 children and she's an amazing lady. I don't think she ever stops. And Jamon is our newest staff member who started last month, and we are thrilled. And he has a fantastic story that he shared with us before we made the decision to bring him on staff. That's incredible. So I will let y'all take over. Vanessa York, Jamon Wilson.
So incredibly long career.
Age 11,
No, and he's right. I started in the program when I was 11 years old. Back in that day, and this might be a difference for a lot of you that have been involved in the Rotary Club that you might not realize, there's been a recent change in city life. We used to be called Lifeline, and it was more of a referral type deal. We got referrals from youth detectives, social services, guidance counselors, you name it. And so it sounds great, but we were all over Guilford County. And it could be difficult to get volunteers together. They would have to go and pick up several kids and then bring them to a central location, which made it pretty difficult to do, okay? And so our national office, thankfully, has come down with a really great model so that we are now a neighborhood ministry. So we do our homework, we do community surveys, and we go into a under-resourced community in hopes to really pour into that community and make change. Now, yes, our first and foremost priority is the young people, ages 11 to 18 in that neighborhood, but we have come to realize that if we really want to make a difference in a child's life who is struggling, we've got to pour into their family and their neighborhood. We've got to pour into and make changes exactly where that child is. And so that's kind of where we are starting out this year. We're in the Glenwood neighborhood. And so back to my story, Rick O'Hare, which I believe has spoken here before, he's been on staff. He has a long career, okay? Just to say, as he said, I had a long career, so I'm a little older. I turned 44 this past week. And he was the one that came to my front porch and said, you know, a friend of yours was recommended to go to Lifeline Camp, and she said she didn't want to go, but she knew somebody who wanted to. And it's been on since then. I was a van driver, I was a cabin leader, I was volunteered to come on staff. I think they brought me on staff just because they were tired of me begging. And I tell everyone that I kind of fell down and bumped my head and left Youth for Christ for several years. I feel like Moses during those years wandering around in the desert. The one good thing that come from that absence was I obtained my license in professional counseling. I have a part-time private practice in that. And the main reason I went into that was because I wanted to help teenagers at a deeper level. I felt like a lot of the stuff we're doing nowadays was very superficial. And I wanted some tools in my belt to work with Youth for Christ to help them with that hardcore pain that's difficult to let go of, as many of us know. And so that was kind of my journey of coming back to Youth for Christ and this new great model. It's a holistic mindset. It's not just about where they are spiritually. It's not just preaching at them and hitting them over the head with the Bible. Please know that. We want to make sure they have food in their bellies. We want to make sure they have a roof over their head. If mom needs a ride to the Employment Security Commission or wherever it is, Workforce Development I think it is now, to get some skills and some trades to obtain a job and help them move out of the neighborhood or the area in which they live to better themselves and then come back. That's what we want to do. And it is about that. One of the pillars of city life is raising up indigenous leaders from that community. This is another place where we really see change, is for them to go out, go to college, start their business or whatever, but get them to come back into that community in some kind of capacity and make real change in that neighborhood. Now, that takes a while to see, but that's what we want to do, okay? We appreciate all your years of coming here and listening to us talk and being so supportive. You just have no idea what that means and how much that, it's not just y'all giving $1. Like, I want to make sure y'all understand, you make a change in a child's life. And we're going to show a little video here in a minute to kind of give you a real feel of what we're dealing with. We do work in that community. Of course, the big doors have been open for us, and it's been great. We're at Jackson Middle School, Hope Academy, and then Smith and Smith Academy are not in that neighborhood, but because they are the feeder high schools for those middle schoolers, they've had open doors to us, which is a big deal because Smith High School for many years was a closed school. They did not want anybody from anywhere inside there. And we've been allowed to come in, which is a pretty big deal. Here's another thing I want you to know. The past few years, when I came in July, we were working with about 15 kids and also teaching, I think, a class at Hope Academy. We are now working with right at 300 kids on our roster. And that all sounds well and good, but for us, whew, that's been interesting to go that big a growth in less than 9 months. And so I'm just going to be honest with you. We need money and we need volunteers. We're turning kids away because we don't have the money or the volunteers to do what we're doing currently with all the kids. We'll take about 100 to middle school camp this year. Again, these are under-resourced. 95% of Jackson Middle School students live not just below, but well below the poverty level. Okay? So going to a $200-300 camp, they're not going to have that experience. We charge about $50 for them to come to our camp, and the rest of that money we have to raise. And so please know you're putting a great opportunity in for a child to make a real difference in their lives. And we've seen that. We have kids that have come up through our program right here. I am an indigenous leader. I lived in the Glenwood community. I went to Jackson and I graduated from Smith High School. Okay? I was under-resourced. I now have a master's degree and hold a license. And I don't say that bragging. I'm saying that's the work of great people like you given to a ministry like us. Okay? There are papers. I know y'all are all very good readers, except for maybe the 1 or 2 men who I'm not sure about their jokes. See, that's when I open my mouth and get myself in trouble, right? They don't want to give because I messed up their jokes. But there's papers on your table that will kind of give you an idea and depth of what we do and how we do it. And if you'll bear with me, I want to show a little video, and then I want to give Jamon a couple of minutes to kind of introduce himself and give a little bit of his story and what he's doing. Okay?
In the house where I live, there are 3 people, me, my brother, and my mom. When we get off of school, she might be there and she might not. There's like a lot of shooting in my neighborhood. Like one time we were all playing outside and then they started shooting and then we all had to run in the house. If you don't want to be home by yourself, then you should go to City Life. They'll treat you like family. My mom, she was in City Life ever since she was a little kid. And when I got up to like 10 or 11, she told me about it, so I just thought I would try it out for a little while, and then it turns out to be great. When it comes to Thursday, I like to go in club, because that's where all your friends are and stuff like that. You get to have fun. We talk about how to be yourself and stuff. Like, God will see you just for who you are. You don't have to be no one else. I learned how, like, to support other people, even though they don't support you. Like, treat others like you wanted to be treated. Sometimes I pray and sometimes I forget to. But then Ms. Vanessa prays for us and stuff like that.
So we work with about 80 kids at Jackson, and we do, that's on Thursday afternoon. And then we do what we call, and I'm too old to do this, I'm not sure how I do it, but we do fifth quarter, and it's exactly what it sounds like. After the Smith football games, we have clubs. So our club for Smith doesn't start until 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and we run till 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. But those kids, instead of going out and partying somewhere and getting in all kinds of trouble, they're coming across the street to a church where we play really loud music and we eat lots of food, junk food. Sometimes I try to stick in the healthy stuff as I can for my dentist and all of y'all that are in here. We're doing our best on that. And we play wild and silly games, and then we sit around and we talk about serious stuff. And yes, we do teach out of the Bible and we use scripture. But it's not just Bible stories. We're talking about stuff that is going on in their everyday lives and pulling in scripture of what does scripture say about that. And to remind them that there's somebody a lot bigger than them that has their back and wants to help them have a really great life. And that's what we're doing, okay, on Friday nights. And we run 55 to 75 every Friday night after the football game. So it's a really good thing. And then we continue on after, not just during football season. So I think that's all I have. Jamon Wilson.
So I am originally from Georgia, and my family moved up here. I got 2 boys. I'm married for 9 years now. Moved up here 2 years ago, actually. So I am a licensed minister for the Wesleyan Church as well. I work at Christ Wesleyan. My last day there is, I think, May 31st. I'm here full time at City Life. My role is pretty much I am a neighborhood prowler. I go and I prowl the neighborhoods. I go, I talk to kids. I go, I play basketball with the kids. I eat dinner with the kids. I take them to dinner. And it's like I do the things that some people don't want to do. I want to, they called, one kid called me on Monday and said, I need a ride from football practice. Because that last Friday, he told me, he said, man, I walked almost 3 hours home because my mom wouldn't pick up the phone. So me living 30 minutes away from Smith, it's like, for some people, it could be like a inconvenience or something. Say, well, I'm not going to do that. But you have to, because you have to make that connection with the child. You have to go out and make that sacrifice with the child. See, think about my family and my wife. My wife is very grounded, and she understands my role. She understands that, I might be a father figure to like 20 to 50 males. And even females, they might be like, I don't know what to do. My boyfriend acting up and stuff. This pretty much personal stuff that they don't want to share with their parents, or they can't share with their parents. So I'm out there. I'm hitting the streets. I'm getting burned, and I'm chasing the dogs with me. Somebody get out my neighborhood and stuff like that. Because just like why are you in my neighborhood? I am just here just to focus on the kids who want to hear about Christ. I'm not gonna hound you. I mean, I like playing basketball. I like playing football. See, the thing is though, I was kind of locked in at my church, and I am big on outreach. In Georgia, in my place, we didn't have a Youth for Christ. We didn't have a City Life. So pretty much, I am big on outreach. And my church, like, that was kind of like handcuffed. I was pretty much handcuffed. I said, I need to go out to the, no, you need to do paperwork. I don't know what paperwork is. I'm sorry. I mean, the only paperwork I do is my ministry report on Monday. I close my laptop and I'm gone. I'm gone and I'm out in the streets. I'm gone and I'm hanging out at the schools and eating that Harvard lunch that they feed them kids every single day. You know, it's like you know, for a person like me trying to lose weight, and it's like I'm gonna starve. But it is lunch during the day. I mean, you know, I go to another school and they might have better food, but yeah, this is what me and Vanessa do. Like I said, I've been on staff for 2 months now. I'm loving it. I'm having an awesome time. I wouldn't change it for the world. I thank God for sending me to Greensboro, North Carolina, so I can do His mission work, so I can do the things that He called me to do. So I was just, again, say thank y'all for letting us come and speak to y'all today. Thank you.
You guys mind taking a couple of questions? If anybody has any? You guys have any questions?
What was the struggle getting into Smith?
I don't know. I almost wonder if it was, I think it's a little bit with each principal is different. And even some of our believing principals, I think there's a big scare about the whole church and state thing. And, you know, am I going to get burned, or is somebody going to, you know, is this going to hurt my chances of moving up and doing different things in the education system because I've allowed a Christian group to come in? We had one principal tell us at actually a Campus Life high school, well, you got to understand, if I let y'all in, then I'm opening myself up to letting anybody in. You know, we could have a satanic cult come in and I'd have to let them. And so, you know, there's a lot of stuff, and it's just about building that relationship. I didn't even have to do it. I did 2 things well since July of starting. Maybe too well, I think, some days. Praying hard and having a lot of other people pray for me, and being willing to run my mouth like I'm good at, as y'all can see, to anybody and everybody that'll listen about city life. That's about the only 2 things I can take credit. The rest is him. And so I happened to meet a man, Dr. Cole, who is a pastor at the church we meet at across the street from Smith High School.
He used to be in this Rotary.
That's right. He was a former member of here. In fact, he was the one that really pushed and said, "You got to get in front of him, Vanessa." I said, okay, I'm working on it. So, but he has an in because he's a math whiz, as y'all probably know, some of you know. And so he would go in and teach and do mentoring and tutoring. Well, a lot of the schools can't say no to that. And so for him to come in, he just kind of brings the rest of us in with it. And we go right along. I mean, literally, that's how it happened. He said, "Don't worry, just come on." And he introduced me to staff, the principal, and just kind of told them, Vanessa's here, she'll be around, and she's doing city life across the street at the church on Friday night. And that's how it's been. And we go eat lunch with the kids there, and that's kind of that story.
Can I come in on?
Mm-hmm.
We are at the mercy of the principals as far as letting us be involved in the school. And there are some schools we cannot be in, but we literally, the principals make the call. And we keep a low profile, and so if you say it outside this room, you didn't hear me say it. I have to get you. We are literally at the mercy of and blessed by the principal either letting us in or not. And we had a particular school that we were in, and then a principal change, and we were out. We are now back in, I think, now, yes. But that's the type of thing. So those are the unspoken parts of what we are operating in this world.
And it's sad because, as I stated, even for Campus Life, we're about building relationships and doing for them. It's not just wanting to come in there and hold a sign or preach or anything like that. Like, we will bring in supplies for the teachers. We take biscuits to the teachers once or twice a year. We tell them if you run low on paper or pencils or that kind of thing, we'll do some pull together at our churches and bring you some, you know, so that our teachers are not spending their income trying to supply what their craft and what they're doing. Yes,
what
ma'am?
percentage of your funding is from other churches? Just curious. Do you get a lot of support from other churches?
We have, that's
Some
one
churches.
of the things, some churches.
Key churches.
One of the things that I state is I truly believe Youth for Christ is one of the best kept secrets of Guilford County. And I came on board preaching that and saying that I'm determined to change it. Even if that doesn't mean every individual in every church has a calling or a vision to help and partner up with Youth for Christ. But by golly, surely they should know who we are and what we're about. Every church, every individual in Guilford County should at least know the names Youth for Christ, Campus Life, and City Life. So percentage, it's a lot lower than you think. We have a lot of great individuals that come in. The other part I want to get involved with is, especially for City Life, is some company sponsorships, especially within that Glenwood community. We're about to feed 500 families in the Glenwood community. It's called Project 916. I said it right that time. And we're literally giving 500 boxes away that will cover 2 or 3 meals to anyone who gets in line and wants that box that day, and that'll be August the 5th. So we need help, sponsorships, all kinds of stuff for all the different projects we do. So I hope that answered your question. I'm not sure of an exact percentage, but I'd probably say less than 30%.
Less than 20%.
Yeah, it's not a ton of churches, but we're working on that.
Yeah, we are.
You all do a summer camp, and where do you have a summer camp for the kids?
Southern S on the camps.
Camps.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're, when I say we're growing, we're growing. We took, I planned camp in less than 3 months last year, so that was interesting. And we took about 67 kids. We are capping, we could probably take 150 to 200 kids to our middle school camp this year because of the 2 schools we're involved in. We have to stop at 100 because of funding. So we'll take 100 middle school kids to camp. Yay, yes. And then high school camp will take 30 or 40. And we're meeting this year, City Life, Campus Life is still at Camp Dixie, right? And it's in, where is it?
City Life was at Camp Marywood where we're moving it this year.
Right, we're at Indian Youth Cave Camp in Danville, Virginia. It's a evangelical Methodist camp that we're renting out. So, yeah.
We asked kids for City Life to provide $25 of what it cost us, basically $300 for that camp, per person for each camp. We found that difference.
And you all staff it with volunteers?
Yes, yes.
We have time for one more. God, did you?
I think what y'all do is awesome, and I wanted to ask, so if y'all get let into a school, do y'all have statistics on how it impacts the school as far as attendance?
That's what we're hoping to
discipline, stuff
obtain
like
this
that?
go around. See, with us kind of rebranching and starting over, we're literally starting over even with that. But that
That'd be
is
a great
something
tool,
we're,
but
yes,
say,
we're
hey,
hoping to
let us
try.
in.
Yes, yes. And not just like graduating from high school. That's why I was saying we pulled in Smith. One of our big goals for City Life is to, as much as we can, to start with that child coming into the 6th grade and carry them all the way through till they graduate, and even after them, because that's when we're working on them becoming an Indigenous leader. That they go off to college or do a trade or whatever it is, start their own company, and then come back into that community somehow. And that's when you're going to really see change. But yes, over the next years, we hope to track that so that we can say, this is what City Life is about. This is what we're doing. You know, and we have success stories of people all over the place that are now doing all kinds of things. You know, it's awesome.
Thank you so much for being here. Well, one thing for you and one thing you can do for us. So,
Okay.
Our past presidents committee has a small grant program that we fund organizations that members are part of, and hopefully this will send a couple of kids to me.
Sounds good. It will.
All right. Thank you. And if you could draw the winning raffle ticket for us, that's all you got to do. Just pull a ticket, read the last 3.
I also have a pad up here. If you would like to be on one of our email lists where you can get an email each month that lets you know what's going on and how we're growing and what you can be involved in, it's just an email. But I would love for anybody that is interested to keep up with us. If you'll give me your email, I'll make sure you get some information about us every month and let you know what we're doing. Okay? And thank you.
All right, 243. 243. That's the last 3. Anybody? All right. All right, guys, take it easy.
If I win, I want to give it to.
Little friends.
Thank you, guys.